are, more of who we are.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Jackie Gregg, Dale Cottrell, and everybody for joining us. Welcome to the Center for Conscious Living and our Sunday celebration service. I'm delighted that you joined us. I know that each person that joins their energy helps create this beautiful field of love as we come together. And then that's our gift to the collective. So thank you for being part of this beautiful gift. Thank you, and a big welcome to our special guest this morning, the Reverend Dr. Martha Creek. Hello, hello. We're happy you're with us. Surround you in love. Those of you that are new, joining us for the first time, welcome. You can put your name in our chat or send an email to CCL in Morristown at AOL.com. It's up there to be on our mail list, get all kinds of wonderful information. The other thing that I want you all to know is that the practitioners hold us in this field of love, and our practitioners today are Reverend Jerry Scott, Reverend Michael Rogers, and Reverend Julie Fisher is doing our pastoral support and letting people into the meeting. And now our first practitioner, who is Reverend Marlene Volper, will do our opening invocation.
So let's just all take a collective breath together. And let's truly feel who we are. We are beautiful children of God. We are that infinite presence of the divine. It is that divine presence that flows through us, in us, and around us, that breathes us. It is that love, that peace, that joy, that compassion, that understanding, that all things come from God. And I am grateful in knowing that today is the day that God made, and we should rejoice in it. And I am absolutely rejoicing because we are here together to feel God, to know God, to see God, to absolutely feel that beautiful presence, the power within. Grateful for the beautiful music that Jackie and Dale provide for us today. Grateful for the message that the fabulous Martha Creek imparts to us today, knowing that each and every one of us takes away exactly what it is that we need. Grateful for the beauty of the day, for the presence of each and every one here. Grateful for Reverend Carol for bringing us this beautiful community, the Center for Conscious Living that feeds so many on so many levels. Absolutely grateful for all that is. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Marlene. And one of the reasons we are rejoicing and amazed is because my God is so good to me. Listen to Jackie Gregg, Dale Cottrell, bring home that message.
Thank you, Reverend Carol. I don't know how you woke up this morning, but it's a great day. It's a good morning because God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Oh, my God is so good to me. We want you to feel this, come on. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. You know I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Hey, my God is so good to me. Well, in my time of meditation, God is so good. In my time of meditation, God good. In my time of meditation, God is so good. Oh, my God is so good to me. Now listen. Oh, in every way and every day, God is so good. Every way and every day, God is so good. When I take the time to praise the Spirit, God is so good. Oh, my God is so good. Don't do that again. Oh, in every way, every day, God is so good. You know, every way and every day, God is so good. When I take the time to praise the Spirit, God is so good. When I take the time to praise the Spirit, God is so good. When I take the time to praise the Spirit, God is so good. Oh, my God is so good to me. Oh, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. We might as well do it again. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. You know that I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Oh, my God is so, my God is so, my God is so good to me. Hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, just beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. Let's call up now our first practitioner to do our inspirational reading. And then we'll do an affirmation, and that will be in the chat too for you.
So good morning again, everybody. Today I am reading from the illustrious 365 Science of Mind, page 161. And what's interesting about this page is that there was a card stuck in this book from the last time I opened it, and it's a card from Martha Creek. So it's perfect. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace. Galatians 5:22. We should look across the new horizon of the greater possibility that resides within each of us and meet the living God and feel the embrace of God's presence and come at last to know the infallibility of God's power. From out of the great mind, that is God, the way of life is made perfect and straight and immediate. It is made happy and whole and prosperous. God's love always embraces us. God's wisdom is always within us. And God's joy is ours to share. Just as surely as tomorrow will come and the sun will rise again across the darkness of the horizon and spill its beauty and warmth to awaken the valleys into fertility, so shall this be a new day in our life, bringing us into greater joy of living because of a greater consciousness of the Almighty within our own souls. I dwell in the house of love. My dwelling place is filled with peace and eternal calm. Love attends me in my home of the soul, and joy awaits upon me in the secret place of the Most High. My sorrow is turned to gladness, and my shame to rejoicing. My tears are wiped away, and the sunlight of the Spirit shines through the clouds of depression and lights the way to heaven. And if everyone will look in the chat and repeat the affirmation with me. I am one with Source and with unlimited wholeness, perfection, peace, and wisdom. All that is spirit is in me, in my mind, in my body, in my soul. God is in my life. God is my life. And I know and accept this truth with gratitude right now.
Thank you, Marlene. And now it's time for me to have the honor and the joy and the privilege of introducing the fabulous Miss Martha, the Reverend Dr. Martha Creek. I looked at one of the recent things we sent out, and it looks like we've just quit putting her biography there because she's it's way too long. It's too much stuff. She knows pretty much everything. She's studied it all. She talks to churches not only across the country but around the world now. And since she's been asked, like the rest of us, to stay at home for a while and stop this world travel, why she's offering classes and workshops. And I just came out of a retreat with her. Beautiful things all the time, because this woman is that space where God shows up. And I am grateful that she's here with us today. Martha Creek.
Thank you. A big God is good namaste to every one of you. And I believe today is a day for us to take on, me again, and you again, if you are ready, willing to do this, to take on a new meaning to everything we think we formerly knew. So we say namaste, namaste, then it becomes rote. Namaste, 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 namaste. I worked with Byron Katie over the years, and she said when she first heard people saying namaste to her, she had never heard the word, so she thought they were saying no mistake, no mistake, no mistake. And she thought, oh, how wise these people are. Oh, these people are so wise. No mistakes, no mistakes. So get a sense today of what it would mean to give a wholehearted, whole being namaste. Bowing to the divine. Bowing to Creator. Bowing to creation. Even when we don't like it. Even when it doesn't turn out the way we hoped. Even when it's not what we prayed for. Get a sense of the power within you that we fail to notice, the power within me, the power within you that we fail to notice when we don't bow to the divine. To bow to what is. This is what is. How do I know I need this? Here it is. Do I like this? No. Do I want this? No. So the response of the 2-year-old in us, the response of the 3-year-old in us, no, no. Or an actual growing ourselves up so that the child aspect that's a very much a part of us, our human journey, our human unfolding, is not running the show. And I remember years and years, 30 years ago, a therapist said this. I've had some really key takeaways from the little bit of therapy I've had. I've had some very good takeaways from the therapy. And one was this woman asking me this question: Martha, how long are you going to let the 4-year-old in you run your show? So maybe that's a question for all of us. And instead, to apply the teachings and to not come away, as Reverend Carol said, Martha knows this, she's read this. It's like Martha's a student. Martha knows one thing that she doesn't know yet. I don't know what bowing to the divine is yet. I don't know what love is yet. I don't know what compassion is yet, but I'm going in that direction. And if I believe I know what compassion is, I won't ever know what compassion is, because I'll be living through my little teeny diminished worldview of what compassion is. And many of you have heard the story about me caring for my dad during his last days, his last years, the last 2 years of his life. I was with him primarily during that time. And I believed myself to be compassionate. I worked to be compassionate. I practiced compassion. I read about compassion. I meditated for compassion. So I'd have said, I think I'm a 7 or an 8 on a 10. I believe I'm pretty compassionate. And then while I was caring with my dad and caring for my dad, which was a caring for me also, it was me getting to be the daughter that I wanted to be with him, I would say, Dad, do you want some water? No, I don't want any water, honey. And St. Martha would say, well, go ahead and drink some water. Here, let me give it to you. And just drink it down to here. I've got the ice and everything out of it just like you like it. Go ahead and drink some water. You know, we make sure you don't get pneumonia. We got to make sure you get those lungs hydrated. Does that sound compassionate? Dad, do you want to go for a walk? No, honey, I don't. It's like, okay, well, let's go ahead and get up. Let's go ahead and get up. You know the drill. You know, put your hands around my neck and I'll swing your legs. In the name of compassion. And then one day the mind opened, the heart opened, and I'm questioning everything. During that time and most days, I'm questioning, who would I be if I didn't believe that was compassion? Who would I be if I was more curious about discovering the next greatest iteration of compassion, the next greatest iteration of power, of namaste, of the presence of God as source? So I was really questioning, and it's like, this is not compassion. Wow. Mind blowing. What I thought was compassion wasn't. And boy, was I convinced it was. So then it became, Dad, do you want some water? No, honey, I don't want any. Okay, now did you hear all that part about the pneumonia and the lungs and all that? Yep, sure did. Okay, well, I've got your water. If you change your mind, it's right here. Dad, do you want to go for a walk? No, honey, I don't. It's like, okay, did you get that part about hydration? And yep, heard every bit of it. Okay. Then out of the clear blue sky, he would say, hey, I'm kind of thirsty. Is there any water in that pitcher? It's like, who knew he could detect thirst? Who knew? Then he would say, hey, I think I'll walk down to that nurse's station. Can you go down there with me? I sure can. So which one of these St. Marthas would you want with you at your bedside? The one that believes she knows what compassion is, or the one discovering what compassion is? The one grateful for discovery, the one grateful for unfolding, the one grateful for, I don't know yet. I'm a student. I'm a student. So I'm going to leave room here for I'm a discoverer, and I'm here to see what would be even better than this. So some of you have heard it before as, let's not let our good take the place of our great. Let's not let good get in the way of our great and our greatness. And that is the topic of the day specifically, as I think about and we move in toward this workshop time, and based on the practices we're doing, particularly coming off of this retreat, to look at the word great and grateful, grateful, G-R-E-A-T, grateful. And I can't call everything great yet. Is there anybody here that can? Is there anybody here that can call everything that occurs great? You know, I get real excited because then you may ascend this afternoon and we'll want to film it. So we need to prepare for that. So we can't call everything great yet, some of us. But what if we just keep leaning in that direction? That even on the times we can't call it great, this is what is. So this is what's presenting. This is for me, not against me. How do I know I need this? Here it is. So this is for then my enlightenment. This is for my new understanding. This is to grow me. This is for the terms of Christianity. This is for salvation. This is for my new understandings, my next greatest iteration of myself. So the word gratitude refers to an attitude of greatness, an attitude of greatness. So think about then if we just dialed up our G-R-E-A-T, our grateful, to get another dial up on G-R-A-T-E, grateful. So then a new thankfulness. So with something within us, not something out there, not waiting for things to align like we prefer, but something that's within us, real power, real empowerment, that's our wellspring. We're no longer waiting for the things out there to align to our imagination and what we made up that it should be, but aligning with what is, and then drawing from a wellspring, an infinite, eternal wellspring within us to relate to every situation differently. More grateful, and at least to lean there. And then, of course, from our human sense, we ask questions like, well, I'm not going to give, how could I give thanks for that? Or then some of us have been in a place in our lives where we're like, what would I give thanks for? You don't know how awful it is for me. Nobody knows the troubles I see. Anybody relate to that humanness? So it's no little thing to meet that very strong, most dominant archetype we have of what I don't have, what I don't have, what I didn't get. Look what she got. Look what he got. I didn't get. I didn't get. I didn't get. And we go around and telling stories and telling even facts, but as a persona of I'm the one who didn't get. I'm the one who doesn't have. Instead of, let me start talking about, on purpose, for my own emotional maturity, for my own spiritual maturity. And I don't know where y'all stand on this, but I believe I cannot be spiritually mature without being emotionally mature. So I cannot let the 4-year-old run the show and have spiritual maturity. So then it's a chance then to say, okay, I'm going to start talking about and sharing and making lists and meditating and growing my list on what I have, what I got to experience. So it's a shift from all the talk that I do to prove how dysfunctional my family is and how dysfunctional my family was, to how well they did. Is this kind of throwing up some resistance for any of you? Means that after today, I will no longer speak about the dysfunction in my family for my own sake, for my own sake of demonstration, for my own sake of manifestation, for my own sake of my soul's evolution. I have had just enough of that. So starting today, this day in August of 2020, of Perfect Vision 2020, I'm going to get a new vision that says, I've talked about my family's dysfunction just enough. So today, when I refer to my family, I'm going to refer to how great they did. And start wherever you can. Nobody went to jail. I was hit twice, not 2,000 times. I was not picked up at school on time once, not every day for 18 years. Start wherever you can. And the mind will want to go in there, and the allure to get the day they didn't do it well, the day they didn't show up the way you wanted them to. So it's no little thing to do this, even to a degree. And then if you take this on, the next part of it is, and to no longer speak about you as dysfunctional either. So instead of bringing in all the proof of your issues and all the proof of where you're not quite there yet, it's like, I'm going to bring in now the proof, the evidence, the facts, the actual factual of how well I'm doing. Even in intense circumstances, even with deep grief and deep losses and deep sadness and despair, depressions, diagnosis, even in all of that, I'm going to now look for, focus on, and speak about, write about, pray about, think about, and live about greatness. How well I'm doing, and how well they're doing, and how well I had it, and how well I still have it. So take a big deep breath. Notice any resistance you have to this. Yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but. It's normal. And the yeah, but can run. And get a sense in your body now. Just imagine, whether you ever do this or not, just imagine that you are. That you are singing that song like Jackie sung this morning. When those eyes open, instead of, oh God, it's like, oh God. I am on a mission to find everything that's working. I'm going to look to see what's going well here. I'm going to retrain the mind. I'm going to recondition the mind, and I'm going to jump this track that it's been running since I was 3 years old, and I'm going to get down on another track and start laying a new track for myself. And get a sense then. So Abraham Lincoln said it like this: we're about as happy as we make up our mind to be. We're about as happy as we make up our mind to be. So sound familiar? So Ernest Holmes would say it how? Change your mind. Then what? Everything changes. So if I want to change things, I've got to change it where the root system is, where the projection is coming from. So in different words, we don't need something to be happy about. We can be happy because we're in tune with a divine flow, that we're alive and alert and attuned with the way of things, nature, the way of it. It's unfolding. That includes alpha to omega and everything in between. So I can be happier when I allow for wholeness, instead of drawing this line down there that the fear mind would do, the ego mind would do, and say, I want none of that, and I want more of this. It's like, you can want all day, and it's going to include the whole spectrum somewhere along the way. So then imagine then being grateful, not just for what we call blessings, not just when people treat us well or treat us nice, but from a thankful, grateful heart. So regardless of how people treat us, regardless of what they say about us, being conscious of Creator, being conscious of who I am and whose I am. Being conscious that I am on purpose as God created him to be, as God created me to be, as God created her to be. That then gratefulness is a state of consciousness, not a thing. And then when we're grateful from this consciousness, there's a different expression we have. There's a different radiance we have. And you know this because you do this at times. You're able to live from this place. You see it in other people. It's attractive. So get a sense of growing that space, of dialing that radiance up, and not contingent on circumstances, not contingent on getting our way, but contingent on me taking just a second or two to connect, to receive a breath, maybe use a mantra. God is, I am. I think that way. I pray that way. I live that way. So in this situation, how would I react to this situation if I was coming from that place? And then as we open to a new way, a radical new way. Now, if you start doing this with your family, they'll think you're on a new medication or that you've started meditation again. Because we've got our flow charts going. When she does this, I do that. When he looks that way, when she's got that look on her face, we've got all this mapped out. So this is going to take some radical shifting. This will be a radical shift. It can be even disorienting to some. So Browning said it like this: when we open like this, whence the imprisoned splendor may escape. So the imprisoned splendor may escape. So get a sense of being that kind of seed sower for the world. I'm going to be the one that is letting this inner splendor escape, to radiate this inner splendor in every situation. And I'm going to begin to apply it now today through my prayer. So my prayer is going to be from a place of grateful, 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 grateful. And you've heard it, Master Eckhart. Every sage and seer and teacher in every faith tradition has said that in some way or the other. The only prayer we need to pray is thanks. If you never say another prayer, a prayer of thanks is causative, generative, based on science of mind, based on our teaching. Like then this is a causative, generative, demonstrative energy of mind. Gratitude, great and gratefulness and giving thanks, saying thanks. So getting still, not praying to God, but from a consciousness of God. This is the basics of our teaching. From a consciousness of God, God as reality, God as what is, God as Alpha and Omega, from a consciousness of that. And then in oneness with that. The reality of the heart. And that from that place, I live and move and have my being. And there's no need that is not known. There's no need that is not already present and already being cared for. So as we pause and realize this oneness, pray from this consciousness, pray in words of praise, praise. So that's my latest kind of track, praising progress. Praise progress, not accounting for where I didn't do well. Praise progress, praise and progress. Words of praise, words of appreciation. Blessing things. And then coming from that consciousness and then living out from that consciousness. So in the same vein, cultivating an attitude of gratitude, cultivating a consciousness of oneness, growing our consciousness of oneness, and thankful for that. Thankful for the relationship I have with Source. Thankful that I have atonement, at one-ment with that. And that it's ever growing, ever expanding, infinite and eternal. And I'm onto it. I'm onto it. And in all things, give thanks. We don't have to like it. We don't have to love it. But if we back up from that, whatever we've got, and look at the broad spectrum, if we look at what others got, you know, you've heard it many times. If you had to take your disease and throw it in a pile with all the diseases of other humans, would you want the one you've got, or would you want to get one of theirs? So it's a bummer for sure. And look at the broad spectrum. And then when I can't delight in it, when I can't jump out and do a happy dance over what I've got, no worries. I can still give thanks that I've got the resources to navigate it, that I've got friends around, that I've got caregivers, that I've got a support of what I've got. So it brings us back to basics, I think, and particularly coming into this time that I believe is going to be this fall, this coming time is going to be a chance for us that are practicing anything similar to this to dial up. And as Reverend Carol referenced, that this is not only for our soul's progression, our own consciousness development, but our contribution to the collective, our contribution to conscious evolution. So it's no little thing if me or you can do this even one time today, or one time every day for several days. So the greatest thing I can do, I believe, to benefit the world, to bring value to this, to promote and cultivate a conscious evolution of our species, is to deepen these practices and to take the blinders off to see, okay, in whatever time I've lived, what have I failed to notice? And not out of failure, but just I didn't see it. I wasn't looking there. I didn't have my focus there because I've been too busy presenting my story about how awful things are. So I've got to shift off the awful track and get over to an awesome track. So awful or awesome. And the allure is to run the awful track. The allure, a mighty pull, a pull to, no, they don't know. I need it. Let me out misery them. Oh no, where two or more gathered, there'll be misery. Like, no, I've got to somehow jump that track and say, misery is there. That was painful. That was not pleasant for me. And I'm going to be laying a new track of awesome, of great and gratefulness and gratitude. And to begin with gratitude from this sense, through prayer, through meditation, through open eye meditation, through the walks I do in nature, the anything you do, the bath, when you have your meals, driving the car, anything to bring that gratefulness into every situation. When I turn that water spigot to brush my teeth and water comes out, grateful. Grateful for toothbrush, grateful for toothpaste, grateful for teeth, grateful for radiance. And I believe that we will begin to find an easier life. Would that be okay with you? To have an easier life? Let's test it to see. There's nothing to lose here. Let's see what causative generative power, peace, zeal, will, understanding, life, faith, order, letting go, creation, recreation, imagination, understanding is possible through this one practice. And to be willing for an easier life and to be easier in life and to make it a priority to feel grateful, feel grateful, gratefulness, and to express it. To bring my impression of God, how God has impressed me, impressed upon me, impressed through me, to bring that into expression. Bless you as you practice. Bless you as you discover the power within you and a greater power within you than even you've imagined yet. I love you. I hope you'll come back for the workshop for some more nuts and bolts of this. And any way I can ever serve you, get directly in touch with me. All blessings to you and big heart hugs.
Thank you. Thank you, Martha Creek, who knows nothing. Okay, I got it.
Yes.
Always better and more. Thank you. Thank you very much. And let me call up Reverend Julie Fisher, who will, if you look in the chat, this is our offertory time. As we have a blessing that we offer, and we accept and welcome your donations as well.
Good morning. Please join with me in blessing our offering. Thank you, God, for this abundance that is mine to share. I bless this gift and give it to thee in gratitude and joy, knowing that as I give, I do receive.
And now, as you're letting go of the stories about the dysfunctional family or the problems or all that stuff, here's Jackie Greggs and Dale Cottrell to help us remember what we're really here for. I release and I let go.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Come on. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Yippee. Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And now we have a blessing that we want to extend to all of you that might be joining us for the first time and on this wonderful Zoom platform to all of us. So if you raise your hands in blessings as we say, welcome to this Center for Conscious Living. We are a heart-centered spiritual community. We open ourselves to you in love. We recognize the perfection of God within you. We celebrate the joyous being that you are. You are a radiant point of light, and we are blessed by your presence. Welcome home. And another prayer that we say that I got a request for, we skipped it a few weeks, the Mastermind Covenant, which is just another word for this limitless love intelligence, this source, whatever word you're using. But I'll tell you this and tell you the responses. So just close your eyes as we go into this prayer, knowing there is a power, intelligence, and wisdom greater than my own, and knowing it is responsive to my every thought, word, action, and feeling. Say aloud, I acknowledge. Surrendering to the power of this divine consciousness and knowing I am guided and assisted past any limited perception to God's truth within. Now say, I surrender.
I surrender.
Knowing forgiveness is the key to change. I now forgive myself and others for all mistaken judgments, and I open the door to unconditional love by saying, I forgive. Realizing my life is a creation of my own thoughts, I now choose to fill my mind with thoughts that are positive, loving, and beautiful. And I allow my life to reflect that choice by saying, I choose. Holding this consciousness for the Center for Conscious Living, we now thank God for the continued prosperity of this spiritual community and for everyone. For myself, I now go within to the silence of my own mind as I state my own specific intentions, knowing the universe always says yes. With a thankful heart, please repeat after me, I accept. Vital part. With a thankful heart and knowing that all I have put into divine mind is now returned to me, I say, thank you, God. And in this covenant that we say together, the love of God unfolds me, the mind of God inspires me, the Spirit of God enlightens me, the power of God encircles me. I am in God and all is well, for I am enthusiastic, excited, expectant, and at peace. And we just know for one another, grateful God has heard you. Say it to everybody. And now a few announcements. If you're new and you'd like to be on our mail list, please put either your email address in the chat, or you can email cclinmorristown@aol.com, and we will put you on the chat. You will get all kinds of information about our programs. Currently, we have A Course in Miracles and the Oneness Blessing, both tomorrow night. All kinds of things going on. And meditations Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, 7:30 to 8:30 with Ann Blanchard. Awareness, watching awareness, lots of things. Take a look. But the main thing is this workshop that we are having with Martha Creek this right soon from 11:30 to 1. So just time to get a little refreshment and a glass of water and come back. Now, Martha, well, let me see if Martha wants to say anything about this.
Yeah, we just learned this morning that the registration link is not showing up on my website today. So you're welcome to come whether you've registered or not. And Julie has put in the link over here in the chat. So go over there and copy that out and come right on into the workshop, and then send a payment in to the Center for Conscious Living, $25 or whatever you want to pay for that. workshop. And if anybody else would be benefited by this, during the break, send them a text or an email and just invite them in here, give them that link too, and just we'll all do what we can to reach more than we could reach. We together can reach further than we can reach alone. So do what we can to get these empowered teachings out to the whole of the planet. But you're welcome to come in, and we can skip the registration because it's not suitable.
Well,
to working.
Martha's efficient website didn't realize that we kind of do things often at the last minute, and so we're expecting people to just decide, oh, I need me some more Martha. So come back at. I actually don't see it. Did I skip it, or if you got the link in there?
The link's in there. And there it is again.
Okay, good.
Oh, wait, that's two different links. So Julie, where'd you get the link you put in there, honey?
My center one.
So carry on, honey. We'll make sure the right link is up there.
Okay. All right. So we just to know that it always can be better and better. Jackie and Dale again. God's love is lifting me higher.
Yeah, just want to leave you with this for the rest of the week. Ready to go? I know you know the song. God's love is lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, quench my desire. He'll be by your side forevermore. You know God's love keeps on lifting higher, higher and higher. I said God's love keeps lifting me on lifting me higher and higher. Now once I was downhearted, disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came and soon it departed. And then it never showed its face again. That's why God's love keeps lifting, keep on lifting, higher, higher and higher. I said God's love, it keeps on lifting, higher and higher. Now once I was downhearted, disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came and it soon departed. And you know it never showed its face again. I said God's love keeps lifting, keeps on lifting, higher, higher and higher. I said God's love, it keeps lifting, higher and higher. Hey, yeah. Woo. Oh yeah. You know what? Let's go higher. Higher, 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 higher. Come on, let's go higher. Higher, 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 higher. I see you. Come on. Higher, 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 higher. One more time. Higher, 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 higher. Woo! Go high. Stay high this week, guys.
Woo-ha! Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let me call up our first practitioner, Reverend Marlene, for our concluding affirmation, which, but not the last affirmation you do, because you're going to keep positive. But we're going to do this one now. Concluding affirmation.
How do you follow that?
You just keep talking.
Oh my goodness. So, repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in all my feelings.
Life is in all my feelings.
Life is in all my activities.
Life is in all my activities.
I receive it.
I receive it.
I share it.
I share it.
I am it.
I am it.
And I accept it.
And I accept it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
And accepting all these gifts, we say,
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless. God bless us all. Higher, bigger, better. Everything's wonderful. There's Mike and Ellen. Thank you, Martha. Please come and join. The Zoom link is in there. Join the workshop at 11:30. And thank you. Say hi.
if you've never experienced Martha, you're missing out.
They're not going to miss it. Somebody's at the beach. Thank you. Thank you.
Who's at the beach?
Hey, Julie.
Is that the third next to us?
Hello, everybody.
Birthday, Sue! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Joe!
Hello, Peggy King.
Hello, Mike and Ellen.
Hey, Joe.
Sue, hi Sue.
Thank you,
Got
Price
on
for the workshop.
Thanks, Martha.
But we'll be, send anything you want.
Thanks, Marlene.
We just want you to.
Oh, Sue, look at the ocean. I love it.
Higher.
And hello, Debbie Keller. Music.
Hi, guys. Hi from LBI.
Hey.
Hey, Reverend Jerry.
Hi, Mike. Hi,
Hello,
Ellen.
everybody.
Hey, folks.
Michael,
Hi,
looking
Mike.
handsome
Hi.
always.
Whoever said that, hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Jackie.
Thank you
Hi,
so much.
Jane.
Martha.
Oh, my
Hi.
God.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Everyone.
I didn't know where
Irene, hi, Sue.